Right, how's everyone doing? Today I'm reviewing something that I got as a lovely gift. So before I say anything, I need to say thank you to a very special lady, PRICILA. She's kind of like my unsung hero on Fragrantica because she is always full of encouragement for what I'm doing. She always sends me lovely gifts. Yes, you do, PRICILA. Hopefully you'll watch this one. And you're just very selfless, and it constantly astounds me. I think you're just a very wonderful person. You sent me this recently. This is Donna Karan's Be Delicious Rio. I think this set was called Hearts of the World. There is, do you know how many variations, limited editions, extended versions, bottle designs of the Be Delicious line since the green one came out? Have a think, have a guess. What's excessive and what is beyond crazy? Well, there are 56, I counted today, 56 variations from the first green one that came out, Be Delicious number 5. As in Chanel number 5, that was dumb. But, you know what I mean, 56, it's just... Come on, we get it. Donna Karan, if you ever seem to watch this, if you ever watch this, which you probably never will, we get it. Try something new. Anyway, there were 4 in this collection, this Hearts of the World one. There is a Rio de Janeiro one, which is PRICILA. You're from Brazil, so thank you. I really appreciate you sending a slice of your city, or your country. There's a London one, there's a Paris one, and then there's a New York one. I'm just going to say for the record, I've never really been a fan of the original one. I found them to be very acrid and sharp, but I've got used to them, and this one is not so different from the original that it's like an entirely new perfume, because I know she has done these kind of macaroon ones and these sherbety sweet ones. This one is kind of like the original, so if you know that one already, then you won't be in for too much of a surprise with this one. So it came out in 2006, I think. It's an eau de parfum, and they only come in 50 mils. So I'll show you the box a bit closer. So it says all of this stuff. The box has got the New York skyline in dots, but the bottle is different. Let's have a look. It's still got that typical kind of apple-y shape, but at close up, this one has the Rio de Janeiro skyline on it. It's got the famous statue there, a beach, the typical sticker like you would get on an apple, and the liquid is kind of minty green. I've used quite a lot of this already, PRICILA, can you see? Yeah, it's kind of minty green, kind of inviting. It feels cooling already. When I think of Rio de Janeiro, I think of tropical, energetic, kind of cooling, I don't know, something a bit fiery, something with a bit of pizzazz, like the fieriness of these Brazilian people. The notes are passion fruit at the top and red apple. Apple features in a lot of them. It's quite obvious, really. Then the heart notes are gardenia and orange blossom. And then the base notes are myrrh, benzoin and sandalwood. So for now, you can completely ignore the fact that there's sandalwood and myrrh in the base because they don't feature at all. The benzoin really does play a big part in this one. So let me spray it on me more. I've already been spraying it on me all day. It's a bit rickety, this old spritzer, I'm not gonna lie. That went in my ear. Yeah, so it opens pretty much the same way as the other one. It's a very, I would describe it as kind of like an acrid, sharp, biting apple. Like an apple that had just fallen from a tree. I don't know if you're a kid like me, there's apple trees near you. You're not supposed to eat them. The ones that we had in our gardens, not me personally, but people had them in their gardens. They were meant to be for cooking, but when you're a kid and you bite them, it's the sharpest, most sour apple you can think of. And this is what this smells like when you spray it. Really sharp and perfumey. I hate to say that word. I always say that it's a cop-out, but I've learned to realise, well, I've realised that word does describe things sometimes. It's a perfumey apple. Sharp. It's got a very aquatic feel to this one, which makes sense considering it's Rio and the beach is everywhere you can turn. The other one, the original one, although it smells very similar to this one is more pleasant because of this fresher, more aquatic tone. The other one just really jarred my nose a little bit, and it was quite just sour and all of those things I said, biting, acrid and tart and everything. This one's got a little bit more going on where it's a bit more refreshing. So I will say though, when I think of Rio de Janeiro, I wouldn't, of all of the things that Donna Karan could have put in this, or her people that make her fragrances, I don't know. Apple, I don't know. Aquatic, maybe yes, but I was expecting something a bit more carnival-esque, more tropical, more fruity, more fiery, but it's quite simple in its composition and it's quite simple in its smell. So that's that for now. It's floral, no, not very flowery. It's more about this apple top note, and then it completely changes. The benzoin I find quite unusual paired together with this very fresh top. The benzoin really does its job, and benzoin kind of smells like caramel. It's kind of like vanilla. It's a very deep, long-lasting note, and it kind of washes over everything when it dries, and it doesn't take too long to do that because this perfume doesn't last very long, unfortunately. It kind of loses all of its character, and I say that quite a lot about perfumes, but it does happen sometimes. It's described as being sun-drenched beaches, samba parties, blah 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 blah, stuff like that, and it really is just a very sharp apple that's kind of aquatic, that turns into a very sweet base, almost cloyingly sweet base, which I think if you were in Rio, might be suffocating. Tell me, Priscilla, I'm not sure. You've worn this before, you sent me this. You did say that people couldn't smell it on you, and I can probably vouch for that because I've worn this around people and you can only really smell it for the first 25 minutes, half an hour. Then it just turns into a soft, sweet benzoin. So, kind of disappointing in the dry down, but that's how it is, unfortunately. I think after 56 flankers, she should maybe just stop with the variation after variation after variation, because what turns out is something like this, where it has potential and then... So, I'm Matchwoman. Click my logo to subscribe, and thank you, Priscilla, for sending me this. I've been using it a lot because of the heat. It's lovely in the opening, like I said. And I'll see you guys soon for another review.